net immigration, so the number of people who come here minus the number of people who've left, might well hit zero.
OK, Henry Zeffman, thank you as always for your take on the big story of the day. Well, let's stay with those comments from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and speak to Sunder, a former journalist who's now the director of British Future. That's a UK-based think tank which examines public attitudes on issues like immigration, integration, race and identity. Welcome to BBC News. We heard from Henry there the differences in terms of political reaction to those statements. I mean, they're materially not true, but what's your assessment of that? Because some people do feel and agree and sympathise with what Sir Jim said.
We've got very different views of immigration in our country. Some people see it as a very positive thing. Many people worry about the pressures of change, the pressures of high numbers. Most people thought immigration at the record levels we saw in the last Parliament was too high and wanted it to come down. Many people haven't heard it has started to come down dramatically because there's a bit of a lag. But I think there's a difference between the debate about the numbers and the pressures and change and the language of saying things like we've been colonised by immigration, because I think in a country like Britain, with our history, we're a multi-ethnic society, in large part because we're a post-imperial society. I think the language of colonised, which is about dominance, subjugation, dispossession, it's very hard to have that debate in a way that makes sense to all the different kinds of people in Britain, white, black and Asian, rather than seeming to be about an argument about one group against another group.
I mean, as Henry said, Sir Jim did cite incorrect figures to back up his claim in terms of the population and the increase. But I think what I wanted to get into with you is it goes beyond whether the facts are accurate or not. It's about feelings when you talk about immigration. And I guess there are people, Sunder, who absolutely relate and empathise and feel what Jim Ratcliffe is feeling, whether or not you or others agree with that.
That's right. It is more about feelings than facts. But then obviously the media and senior figures need to try and get the facts right. So he's exaggerated 5. But on the debate about feelings, I think people would be able to find common ground with different views. If you said, look, we recognise and respect the diversity of Manchester today, of Britain today, but we've got to manage it fairly for the people already here and the people who are coming in. How does integration work? How does education work? There's some difficult debates to have here, but colonised isn't an argument in Britain, in Manchester in 2025 that can be speaking across groups. Colonised sounds very like what Enoch Powell was saying half a century ago.
It's very loaded language, isn't it, Sunder?
It's very loaded language. The Trump administration is saying there'll be civilisational erasure. You've got people on the internet with very radicalised views saying Birmingham is lost, London is lost, Manchester is lost. I think you want leaders of institutions like Manchester United Football Club to contribute, as the club does in the community, to letting people be heard with different views, but trying to bring people together. And the language of colonised, which is dominance and subjugation, will never get you to the debate about, should we reduce immigration? How do we handle it fairly? How do we come together? So that's why I think, whether we say wrong or offensive, they're statistically wrong, but they are just not the kind of debate about immigration and integration that is going to help a diverse country move forward. And of course, people should be allowed to say the numbers are too high. We want to see change, and different people can have views about that. But we need a better language about a multi-ethnic society, how it handles immigration and diversity.
OK, Sunder, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on that story. Sunder there. Well, there's more on that story on